Today we will talk about India's best monopoly stock called CDSL, whose share price has jumped more than 9 times in the last 5 years, which means the company has given 814% returns from 2020 to 2025, which is absolutely massive. But since December 2024, CDSL has fallen by almost 40%. And not only this, but in their last quarter, CDSL's revenue also dropped by 13% and profit dropped by almost 20%. And you must be thinking that Shashank, what is going on with this company? What exactly happened to CDSL business? And is the CDSL's monopoly currently at risk? Now, for that, we need to look slightly deeper into why CDSL was formed and what is their actual business and how these cycles actually work. So, to understand CDSL's business and to understand the current situation it is in, we need to slightly dig deeper into a few different things. Number one, why was CDSL even formed? Number two, how did CDSL become a monopoly? And number three, which is the most important part, how did CDSL actually make money? And finally, why is CDSL financial numbers and share price looking weak as of now? Prior to 1991, all investments, trade, security purchases were carried out in physical stock markets with share certificates, and basically they were on a piece of paper, which upon misplacing were almost impossible to get back. Now, as a result of this, the market was riddled with failed trades, bad real-time related trading issues, and fraud that became very famous, like the Harshad Mehta scam and also the Ketan Parekh scam. And all of this, however, came to an end when the Indian government decided in 1991 to undertake the process of dematerialization of all share certificates, also known as demat. That means, instead of physical certificates, share certificates would now be held in digital form, and all the old problems such as fraud, ownership battles between shareholders were all completely eliminated, including the risk of loss, theft, or damage, because most of the certificates used to get lost. Imagine how much money would have been saved. So in 1996, the Indian government basically introduced the Depositories Act. Now, this act aimed to establish a legal framework for the operation of depositories, which would facilitate electronic holding, transfer, and settlement of securities. And as a result of the Depositories Act, CDSL was incorporated as a public limited company on June 12, 1997. And this company was promoted by none other than Bombay Stock Exchange and a consortium of leading financial institutions like State Bank of India, Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, HDFC Bank, and Standard Chartered Bank. Now, why this helped is because the involvement of prominent financial institutions in promoting CDSL actually added credibility to the initiative. Now, the collaboration between BSC and these institutions basically demonstrated a commitment to modernize the securities market infrastructure and provide investors with a more efficient and secure way of trading securities. Now, all this happened and CDSL began its operations in early 2000s, offering electronic depository services to market participants. Now, it developed the necessary technological infrastructure to facilitate the electronic holding of securities and their seamless transfer between investors. Now, these companies partnered with someone known as depository participants, which are intermediaries authorized to offer demat account services to their investors. But before CDSL in depository business, there was another company that came into picture, and that was called NSDL, and they were the first depository that got incorporated in India in 1996. Now, this early entry into the market allowed NSDL to establish its presence and build their entire brand. Now, being the first depository, NSDL attracted a significant amount of participants, brokers, financial institutions, and investors, which solidified their position in the market. And obviously, NSDL's credibility as the first and pioneering depository instilled confidence in the market. And that's why CDSL since inception has shown very slow growth when it comes to opening demat accounts. But then why after 2019 did CDSL suddenly shoot up after COVID pandemic? Now, this is where the role of new age broking companies came into picture. Now, if you look at the new broking companies that came out, the discount brokerage companies, all of them came and partnered with CDSL. And since 2019-20, the rise of discount brokers came into the market. Now, discount brokers are brokerage firms that offer trading services at a significantly lower commission rate compared to a traditional full service brokers. Now, these brokers gain popularity among retail investors due to their cost effective solutions. Now, the percentage share of pure play discount brokers on the total active NSE clients jumped from 25% in FY20 to 60% by FY23. And these discount brokers now started offering trading options at discounted ranges as well. Now, when discount brokers started increasing their market share, obviously our old age brokers like HDFC Securities, ICICI Securities, all their market share started falling down. Now, as more investors turned to discount brokers, which led to increase in CDSL's business, now that became the broker and the depository for these discount brokers. Now, the second reason, why did it rise so much? Now, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit us, obviously it was a very rough time, but we saw that the digital adoption, mainly in finance, started shooting up quite drastically, and everyone started getting into the market and opened their demat accounts and started trading in the demat accounts. Now, the numbers speak for itself. If we see the total number of active clients on NSE, in 2020 it was 1 crore and in FY22 it became 3 crores because work from home became the new in and everyone started investing in IPOs, created new demat accounts, and I also know some people who created 10 to 15 different demat accounts just so that they can go and apply for an IPO. Now, all of this obviously boosted CDSL services because every single discount broker was using CDSL instead of NSDL. And now, for all the right reasons, CDSL is now the largest securities depository in terms of number of accounts with the highest share of incremental growth of demat accounts, along with having the largest number of DPs registered in the depository business. Now, CDSL owns a market share of 76% in terms of investor accounts. So when we thought it was a duopoly market, it now slowly has moved into a monopolistic market because this company has taken more than 75% stake in the entire business. Now comes the main part. Let's understand how CDSL actually makes money and where this game is going right now. Now, on a broad level, there are three types of revenue. One is called annual insurer charges. Now, there's a recurring fee, which is kind of like a subscription model. Now, this includes an annual fee paid by the companies to manage their listed shares electronically. And there's the annual demat charges that CDSL earns through broker partnerships. Number two, which is the biggest, is called transaction charges. Whenever people sell the stocks, they have to pay a transaction charge which goes directly to CDSL. Now, it has a fee for the digital entries and ownership it creates. Number three, IPO and corporate action charges. Now, there are also value-added services such as e-voting. If a company decides to reappoint a CEO and needs a stamp of approval from the shareholders, CDSL will help you to capture these votes. And whenever a company opts for an IPO, it pays the depository a fee to make sure that the shares are available when they go IPO to the potential investors. But now they are trying to do more. CDSL has now started diversifying its core business. What have they done? One is they've started something known as online data charges. In 2006, a subsidiary called CDSL Ventures, whose core job now is to run KYC checks. So if an investor is opening a new account or the broker or the mutual fund wants to check someone's personal PAN card or Aadhaar card and see if it's authenticated, then CDSL comes and does that work for you. So CDSL also started upselling by doing eKYC. Then in 2011, it also extended a service to the insurance industry. So if you buy a bunch of insurance policies and you want all of them to be stored in a single electronic folder, CDSL came and started helping with that as well. Also, there are many other services like e-cash charges, document storage charges, and many more miscellaneous charges. Now, let us see the financials of CDSL. And by the way, all the amounts are in crores. Now, as you can see the financials, you can clearly see that something is very off in the last quarter. And you can see that the financial numbers have actually decreased, including their net profit and their margins. But if you look at the long-term company's fundamentals, they are extremely strong in terms of sales and profit growth and return on capital employed. Now, if you put this into perspective, this is how the compounded sales growth looks like. A 10-year compounded sales growth of 25%, 5 years is 33%, and 3 years is also 33%. Now, that is just sales. If you look at the profit growth, 10-year profit growth compounded is at 29%, 5 years is at 30%, and 3 years is at 28%. And if you look at the return on equity, which is one of the most important metrics to look at, in 10 years, they have given 23% return on equity CAGR, 5 years 26%, in 3 years 29%, and in last year just 31%. Now, in the short term, CDSL's financial numbers and share prices are getting weak. But in the long term, it was always good. But the question is, Shashank, why are they getting weak right now? And that is because of two prime reasons. The first reason is the slowdown in demat account opening. Because don't forget, when we saw the COVID pandemic happening, all the participants came in at that point in the last 2 years, and now most of them have already entered the market. So now the growth momentum that was going on has now started to dip quite drastically, and the new demat account openings are also there, but not anything significant. Now this is mainly because our beautiful stock market has also started falling down quite drastically. If you look at Nifty, it has gone down by 15%, Sensex another 15%, mid cap 21% fall, and small cap has almost hit 23% fall. Now, when this happens, CDSL is witnessing a slowdown in both beneficiary account opening and also transaction charges, because in a bear market phase, people usually don't go and transact much. So the buying and selling of different stocks are also reduced a lot, and that is why CDSL's revenue also started dipping quite drastically. Now, coming to the demat charges, from May 2024, CDSL started charging something known as transaction charges, which the investors are not very happy about. Because since May 2024, CDSL cut the tariff by 50 paise per debit transaction across all existing slabs. There is also an additional discount of 25% on debit transactions, where the demat account is a female, then it becomes cheaper. But then in September 2024, they informed something known as uniform tariff, which is basically 3.5 rupees flat per debit transaction, affecting from October 1st, 2024. Obviously, that is when we also started seeing the massive fall. Now, coming to the final conclusion of CDSL. Now, there's no doubt that CDSL is one of the best monopolistic businesses in India. Now, CDSL is also technologically highly advanced, hence it is keeping the higher market share from NHDL. But there are two problems when you invest in CDSL. And please understand, this is actually a cyclical business. Because when the market is in a bull run, companies like CDSL will do very well because the number of transactions are higher and the P ratio also tends to go slightly higher. But at the same time, when we go into a bear market, and that time the transactions are lower, and that is why you will see companies like CDSL falling down, and even companies like BSE, which is an exchange, also has the same phenomenon. So we can always observe that when you invest in these companies, don't get scared, don't panic, because they do work in cycles. And now that you have seen this video, you have become smarter and you understand fundamentally how CDSL actually operates and works and how they actually make money. So when we enter a bull run again, you exactly know that, okay, this company might do well. And when we start entering a bear market, you will know when this company is going to create an issue. Right? So that is why I keep saying that you should always look at companies, and I will also tell you a very good quote by Peter Lynch. You can't go to sleep holding cyclical stocks for a decade and expect to be richly rewarded. And that was by Peter Lynch. So I hope this video helped you guys, and I hope you guys learned a little bit new about CDSL. And let me know if you guys like these videos as well. So I'm doing more such videos. So if you have any more recommendation, any more advice, please put it down in the comment section below. It is deeply appreciated. Thank you. This is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. Take care. See you guys. Bye.